Hello everyone, welcome back to our little micro home let's build thingamy bobby. I'm getting rid of this. And I'm getting rid of these. Because I don't want them. What I want is I keep seeing people doing really cool jobs of like real old school style caravan roofing. And I want to do it. So that's what I'm doing. I'm going straight in. And I hope you're all having a good day. Sorry I've been away for a bit. Let's be honest, I've been under the weather, haven't we all? We're getting used to this whole working from home scenario. And as someone who actually has a full-time job, who gets out of the house like every weekday at least, I'm just like, damn. I wish I'd been able to work out how to do this well before the situation arose. But alas, unfortunately it's one of those things where we just have to deal with it. And I did have a bit of a sore throat like last week, which didn't help matters, to be honest with you. And so yeah, I just needed a bit of me time. I think it's as simple as that. I don't need to justify needing some me time. And I shouldn't have to, and I'm not gonna. Simples. But I hope you are all keeping well. And staying safe and all that. Staying indoors. All that sort of fun stuff that we all have to do. Oof. That may not work. The floor, the wall's gonna have to be a bit lower, isn't it? Oh, it's not what I was hoping for. Instead, I think what we'll have to do, come on, get rid of this, there we go, is I'll move this guy in with like 2, and we'll do a slightly differently shaped one here that kind of closes it off. We'll deal with overhangs in a bit, but if we do like a nice, yeah, it's a bit more steep, and if I do like just this end here, that might look better. Oh, that took it too far. Whoops. Could be cool to have like a shaded place, but not quite like that, I don't think. Be fun to have like an extendable part that could come out. I mean, this is not like a little like awning. I could see about putting an awning in. That would be quite cool. Let me see. Let me check it out, see if it's doable. Oh, for sure. And if you give that a different colour, like, oh, it'd be perfect. I'll see how it works. Let's try. So, I think I want to go with like a pale metal. None of these are really fitting what I need. I want to make this look a bit more like an actual caravan, which is what I kind of came on here hoping for, but we ain't quite got it. Like, this is the vibe that everyone's going for, and I hate how many things end up in my inventory every time I change wallpaper of things. Of all things, wallpaper. We could try this. We could make this work. I haven't put bb.move objects on because I'm an idiot. Yeah, I think bringing those front ones over a little. And then we do a little trim change. And I think swapping out these to a black or a black and white. Black and white works. And this to the grey. I'll deal with that other one in a sec. There we go. So that's looking slightly more like a caravan, I suppose. It's not perfect at all. One bit, but maybe if I raised it and I raised this, the curvature would be a bit better. I don't like that. That can stay like that. Eh. I think it's a case of roof trim. That's not what I wanted to do. Let's pull these back in. There we go. And then we need to do some roof trimming. I just want to get this to a point where it looks slightly less crap. I definitely like having the little different colour awning here. Maybe it's like a red or something. I like the idea of it being stripy. Maybe we could get that going. I feel like I could get that to go stripy. We did red and yellow. Yeah! I mean, it's a little bit of a bodge, but what can you do? And if I can drag that up to meet the roof, we can have it suspended a little. I don't like this column though. I'll go for a slightly thinner one. That one's pretty much perfect. Cancel. There we go. And she could have like a little, like, so we wanted to have like a gardening area. We could have like the little flower station there. That would be quite cute. Definitely still not in love with the roof. Let's see. What other metals? Corrugated metal? I mean, it's a caravan. It's not a... Is that a caravan look? I'm really struggling, to be honest with you. See, that in a white would be the most, like, caravan thing I could think of. Oh, the blue works. Why is the blue so pale and yet everything else isn't? I don't understand it. Yeah, the blue works. It's frustrating because I feel like this should be much lower if I want it to be a motorhome looking thing. Like the wall height is what I'm trying to say. So it's a bit frustrating. I kind of want to see if I can get some kind of roof action thingy going on here. Like that. If I could bring it up to there and then curl it out, would that look silly? Let's at least get it in the right colour. And with the right wallpaper, I suppose. God, it does look awful, doesn't it? Can I... So if I were to do that... That's more of the look I was going for! Yes! That's, like, really pretty close to what I was going for. Yeah. It's a bit crooked, I'll be honest. And the windows definitely don't work. But I like having them there. Let's see what I can do. Let's duplicate these. I've put that in the wrong bit. Bring that floor bit out. Makes me want to bring these out, but we'll see. We'll see in a moment. And then copy them, but do it too wide. Move it in there. Lower it down? Is that something that can be done? Does working out whether that looks stupid or not. Good question. Right, so the idea is this is the back of the trailer. For sure. And this is the front, where it'd be pulled by a car. Don't ask me how we got it on in this direction, but we did. Let's see if we can make it look better with trims. Trims help all things. Except maybe this lot. Who knows? And we want a white inlaid for that. Bring that in together. Oh my goodness, it does look a bit shoddy, doesn't it? Unless... Ooh, different idea. That's not what I meant to do. I want to raise it up to where it meets up with these bad boys. Which it doesn't in that particular angle. You know what, let's delete it. Let's try again. Can we curve that out anymore? Right, so that's what it... Right, okay. Oh, come on. I really don't like the way the, that one's different now. It's slightly better of a curve. I think I'll take that. Could I... It's annoying, because it would be cool to have a door under here. But we all know that won't work. Maybe I could squeeze in a little one. It's a little too tall. Which I reckon all doors will be. Because I could have had like a little... Almost like a terraced bit. But it's not a terraced bit. You know. Like just along there. That people could sit on. I mean, it's still doable. Idea of having fold-out steps that come out of here wouldn't be so bad. Then it's got that vibe without being too much. And also it's hideous because there's no windows on it. I really didn't think about windows, did I? Maybe this is where we'll pop the post box. Nah, I want a cute bench or something like that down there. If I'm going to do it, I might as well do it nicely. I'm just going to change that to a white because that makes more sense. I want to check the walls out, see where I can patch in some extra windows and stuff. And by the looks of things, nowhere is my answer. Right, so... Could technically fit one in there. Could technically fit one in there. Could definitely get one in here. Maybe having a cute little set of round windows. That's a 1x1. Let's do a 2x1 and we'll do it with the... Let's do this. Because that'll for sure work. And it doesn't get in the way of the thingy either. Which is beautiful. And then where else? That there could definitely be a window instead of a thingy. Thingy is my favourite word. In case you hadn't all noticed. Is there not one of these for a 2x? Like a central? Because if there's not, that's going to be really frustrating. And I have to move on to these, because that's a perfect fit. Let me just check it out. Constant custom. No, that's not the one. I was like, oh, is that meant to be the one? But it's not. That's a 2 square window. Can't you just have a centralized 1 square? Test me, game. Why don't you just test me, game? Well, for a start, that looks awful. We could definitely have some sort of windows here, as opposed to these cross stitches or something. Again, it would be nice if we could get them to be where we want them. That works. Maybe yeah. That looks relatively nice. That's the wrong way around. I wanted it to be that way to match everything else. It's higher up than the other 2, which makes me want to move these 2 higher up. Which means I then have to rejig everything. But it all is good, because it's fine. It's what we do. We're builders. This is what we do. We have to rejig everything and get balance back. And if that's how we do it, that's how we do it. Make them in line. I want another one, and I want it here. Is that going to be a conflict? No. That's working well. Thank you, game. Round 1 needs to get out of here. Square 1. I'd love one there. That would just be the pièce de résistance of all of life. But alas, it's too big. You know what? Circle windows have to come back. Sorry, circles. I don't like you. But you might have to make yourself a comeback. Where did it go? There you are. And it's not even like... Yeah, that's the line I want. Can you just line up nicely, please? And now I have to line this one up with thin air, which is joyous. And I kind of feel like if I could get a placement of that wouldn't interfere with things, that would be really swell. That's... Okay, am I able to move that down? No. Let me switch that one out. And I can move this down. That'll be fine. I can switch that one out because there's a smaller one. We were going for that one because it was a bit chunky on purpose. That one's not the one. That one's the one. Perfect. Now we've got some light coming out there. Now this side is a lot more tricky. But I'm fine with it. You know what? I give up. I'm good. I don't need it. And I mean, I hate to come back to this topic of the door. But, I mean, in theory, I could get a door going from inside there, right? Like, it's a big theory, a game theory and all that. Yeah, it'd be a bit of a pain. Not worth it. I don't think it's worth it. Be great for a little cat hutch. Like a pet hutch. However we're gonna say it. I'm not there, for Christ's sake. Like, perfect place for a little pet arch. Absolutely. See? Little pet doors. Cute. Maybe I get one in and start putting cat stuff in? Oh, shit, there's a window above it, isn't there? Never mind then. I forget these things. It's so easy to forget. Let's just, for a second, pop as much as we can back in the places where I remember it going. Because I'll be honest, I don't remember where most of it went. These were probably stacked on some of these. I believe this candle was stacked on one of them. Towels were stacked in elsewhere. That was back there. Kettle was in this one, I believe. Because I had the kettle and matching in there. And the scale. Where was the scale? Was that at the top? I love it. I think it's perfect, but where did I have it? It seems like there isn't it. Was it there? It works there, so I'm keeping it there. And I don't know why a chair decided it wanted to disappear. Right. Let's just make a vow not to have any more, like, wallpaper changes in this place, because, yeah. That's what's troubling us at this point in time. Yeah. I'm still happy with it. I still think it looks great. Right. Outdoors. Needs some work, but we'll get there. Let's grab like a grey wooden paint. Can't put it on there, that's fine. And on this outdoor bench of some sort. I think that might be a little too nice. That's too outdoors. Don't know how something can be too outdoors, but you know, I feel like that could work. Have we got good colours for it? I think I'm into the idea of giving the outdoors a bit more colour. So if I can find one that really is bright and fun, but also isn't too much of a stray away. And by that, really what I mean is, rather than having like white, what am I trying to say? Oh. It's so difficult to keep my train of thought these days. I don't know why. White wooden details, I suppose, and then colour is what I was going for. Like, the purple works. I think that's our best choice so far. Nothing really speaking to me yet again. Let me check in sofas. Just to make sure we're not skipping out on any. Oh, a wicker little love seat would be quite cute. Or like the camping outdoor sofa. They are really like uncomfortable to sit on if you've ever sat on one of these. Especially if you don't weigh the same as the person sitting next to you. Which, I mean, in a real world, who's going to be that coordinated? Who is going to be so coordinated that that just works? But, oof, they're uncomfortable. I really like these benches. I love the colours on them. I love that they've got all these different choices. But I don't quite think that that's right. Maybe this? That could work. If we got like a hanging little plant above them or something. That's not quite what I was going for, but that's a good option should we need it, having a succulent wall. In fact, that could be a good way to, I suppose, kind of mask the way that this outdoors bit looks. Like, I like the idea that she's been parked up for a long while, so she's actually had time to make these planter boxes that go on her walls, and that wasn't quite right. Yeah. That could work thoroughly well if we playtest it. Let's just double check. I want him to leave, first off. Can I not click him? Oh, okay, cool. Asks to leave. Yeah, hello? Is he gonna ask? Is he... leave? Leave? Go away? Just go away. Where did she go? Okay, she definitely can't get up those stairs. I think that's what that lesson taught us. So maybe just one of these, centralised. Would be quite nice. Or even... I'm fine with it being higher up, actually. Maybe even a different colour wood. Like the grey wood would be nice. I don't think I like it there. I think I like it here. I definitely want things to decorate that, but that wasn't it. That wasn't the one. Got all these plants and I always gravitate towards the same ones. That's cute. I definitely want to use that at some point. That's way too big. Can we size that down? Would that be a nice thing sized down? I like it. Do we have colour options here? We don't. But if I were to just put 3 of those together, I think that looks nice. Makes me want to change the colour of this to be... Maybe the blue is our best option. It just kind of blends into the, maybe the dark wood. Because it's such a stark contrast to what we've got going on. Could do the potted willow, of course. That's too much, though. For sure. Is that a hanging? No, that's not a hanging thing. It's cute, but it ain't hanging. That's hanging. Oh, that's really quite cute. Only problem here is we ain't actually got a roof up here. Oh, I tell you what we can do now, though. We could drag this roof bit down. Maybe not that far, but enough that it kind of curls over and meets up. It's not quite there. If I join it up like that, that looks better. Oof, that's almost perfect. Because I could, in theory, move that down even further then, because this will be on the same trajectory. Is that where we're at? Are they about even? What's annoying about roofs like this, though, is they don't curve with the same curve. They don't carry on curving, is what I'm trying to get at. That needs to stay tucked in. I think that adds a little bit of a better moment here. But you would only be able to hang stuff in that little tiny nook up there still. But What this does give us the opportunity to do is, I mean, if we wanted to get rid of the stairs there, is we could now do this. And we could... Have we still got the... Is the... Right, I'm going to move that out for a second. Because we could get this to work. This is going to have to be a really steep curve. Okay, maybe not. Let's just take it all the way to there. And then just a inward like this. Maybe curve it down a little more. Right. We're nearly at it. Let me duplicate this again. And move that into there. Right. So if I were to do... See, it doesn't even line up when they're shortened. So I have to curve it out extra to have it match. Which is not quite even working, to be honest. And I just want to do that, and that doesn't... Nah. I will definitely go back to having these here with the plants, for sure. Oh, we've got these plants as well. I forgot about these. I like the slightly wilder look, to be honest with you. Although this hanging planter as well is awesome. And that could work. I just want to double check it doesn't... Oh, it comes outside of the lines. It's just a bit too big. If we want something that's hanging, we're going to have to make sure it can go under the overhang. Have we really spent 32 minutes on this so far? Oh my god. It makes you think, doesn't it? It's like, what am I doing with all this time that I've just spent doing this? This one works well because it literally just like falls into the trim. So I like that. Maybe we'll go with like a wall light just behind. Let me set this to night, maybe, to get a better look at what I'm thinking of. Now this one's cool because it's just a wooden plank, but I'm thinking maybe something a bit more obvious would be important here. Don't ask me why the roof doesn't have good shaders. That's not a question that I know the answer of. Don't know why you need 3 lights to light up this tiny little crevice here. But okay. If you're going to be like that game, you're going to be like that game. And let's tug this back in here. I think it's the best thing we're going to do with that space. Just a little bench and that in there. We definitely need to do something to make this look nicer. For sure. And I definitely want to get started on the gardening before the end of this episode because that's really the bread and butter of what today was meant to be. Let me scoot myself in a little bit more. There we go. Right, daytime again. So maybe if she came at it from this side. That's not really a road, that's a path. But it... Could it... No, it definitely couldn't pass as like an alleyway. I'm a little bit annoyed by that because I kind of like the idea of the car being behind. Unless this is just a static. I don't like statics on their own without cars. I think it looks kind of silly. Because they're statics. They're meant to be not statics. I like... Caravans like this shape always seem like the mobile homes type. Whereas ones with like flatter roofs and all that sort of stuff, they kind of give me the the more static vibes. But in terms of landscaping, I want to get a kind of custom-y looking pond shape in here. So I'm just going wild with this. And it's almost like designing a pond in Animal Crossing, which I have been playing a heck of a lot of. If you didn't know, Animal Crossing is out, and it's a very good game. And I'm very much enjoying it. Now I'm just going to tuck that in a little bit. I think that looks a bit better. For sure. Weird that the... Why have we gone with drywall in here? I thought it automatically gave you, like... Is this a fountain or is this an actual pool? Have I done a fountain? I've done a fountain. Ugh. Wasn't quite what I was going for. That's way too obviously not natural. Same with that. Same with that. And that too. Why did I click fountains and not... I like the shape of this. I just want to make it a... Let me just follow it around and see if I can make it a pool. I suppose it would be kind of cute to have a... Can you just escape? I wish there was one that was like, just go one step back. Maybe there is. I don't know the hotkeys for this. I don't do this very often. I was just thinking maybe it'd be cool to have like a fountain set up in this pond, but... insufficient funds. Oh crap! I was trying to keep this on a budget, but I have apparently failed myself. Maybe if I did... No, that doesn't... I'm gonna give it back and try this again. Thank you, game. I'm trying to be quick about it as well. I'm like, you don't want to sit here for 10 minutes while Meg tries to make one pond. Which you don't. There we go. That's better. Still drywall, isn't it? No, it's actually got pool kind of looking stuff. I'm going to go with this. This is clean room. This looks like dirt to me, which is really what we all want out of this. And that too looks like dirt. And if we change the pool water to be a bit more, not murky, maybe green. Maybe that one. Nah, that one's sparkly. That's what I used in my legacy build. Definitely not that one. Definitely not that one. Poolpery. That's funny. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Trim-wise, we've got these rocky things, which are probably going to be a little more helpful to us than the, Have I had that cheat bar up that long? Oh my goodness. Yeah, the, It's interesting the way the terrain's moving. Maybe I move this in one. I think it might be a bit too low. I was just having a little look around and experiment. I think that's right. There. Yep. Okay. So we're going to have to decorate the edge of this with rocks and stuff. I'm going to start off with just having a cute tree. Is that? Oh yeah, that's got stuff in it. It's technically a wedding arch, but it's a tree. I'm a big... Ooh, cherry tree. I adore the way that cherry tree looks. I'll get some greenery in here as well, because I think cherry trees look the best in amongst, like, greener trees. I need some big ones to go up against it. What am I thinking? They're just all feeling quite small. There's a weeping willow. I don't want the willow competing. Interesting. That is interesting. They are pretty much the same looking trunks. This one could work. Do we have a brighter? No. It's definitely not quite what I was going for. But that with that would be quite nice. And then need something a bit more don't want to say like less. Where are all the tall ones gone? Like my no, Norway spruce is too thin. I was hoping for a big like spruce. That one's not a Norway spruce. This is a Norway spruce. No, it needs to be a bit more bushy. A Japanese beech. It works to an extent. Can I scoot this out anymore? I probably could scoot it out just a hair if I... Yeah, quarter tile placement. And I'll pop it there. I like the way these kind of trees and bushes look, but they're a bit much. I maybe think this one instead of the hawthorn tree. I feel like it was just a bit too big at the back. And we'll rotate this to see like a good... There we go. That's feeling a bit better for sure. So we're going to decorate this with some rocks here. Oh, I forgot I have these. They're cute. I need to get the debug rocks on. Just bear with me. I think there's a slight chance that there are some lurking around in decorations in debug. This isn't a guarantee, but I kind of wanted a slightly bigger rock just to start us off, give us like a solid point to work all our rocks off of. I know that probably sounds really stupid to some of you guys, but I don't know. I'm not the best at landscaping in the first place, so doing one of these like natural pond sort of things is kind of scary to me. Not scary in a way like I won't do it, but like I'm worried it's going to take me a few tries to get right sort of thing. And this is going to take a while because I've got so much stuff going on in my game. Debug. Where you at? Come on. Right, so we got some additional trees and stuff. I'd love to size that up. How does that look sized up? It actually doesn't look terrible sized up. I was kind of half expecting it to go really, really blurry. Because I think some of these trees in here kind of go a bit blurry. I mean, that one's not got the best texture in the first place. But that's because they're kind of like used for viewing distance kind of bits and bobs. There's some hanging plants. Do I like that more than I like the cage? I just downsized it accidentally. 9. Ooh, that or cage? I think that gives us more life. I've not put it in correctly, for one. That would be helpful. Or we get rid of the cage. There we go. That's quite nice. And it looks like it's hooked into something on the rail there, which is awesome. It's weird. It looks. It's got like some decoration on that side, like, and nothing else. It's bizarre. Anyway, I like that much better. So, also having like a little bit of a wood path going out here wouldn't be a bad idea. That probably cuts into the cherry tree a little bit. Does it? No, actually it's alright. And I can definitely mask that bit of that tree there. Now the slightly annoying thing about this... Oh, they've got a single one. Never mind. I was about to say the slightly annoying thing about this is getting these to all line up nicely. But I think I might be able to do it. That one's going to be a slight bit shorter, but it's fine. And then this is a post for it on that side. And I think that adds a little something to it. Makes the land here look a bit more segregated, which I think helps this particular, because it's just a caravan and a bit of wide open space right now, and I think having that bit of definition on as to where it ends kind of helps out a little bit. And I might do it along the side here as well. It does ruin my chances for this tree, but I could kind of work around the tree, kind of leave a gap, kind of like they didn't want to get rid of the tree sort of thing. Now that's gonna do that thing where it kind of shows the tree. Yeah. I've seen paths and I've seen like fences do that all the time. I'm not even lying about that. That's like a genuine thing I have seen. Do they meet? They do actually meet. Let's just play the game of it's there, but it's not there. And I don't think I want to take this the whole way forward. I just like using it as like a little bit of separation. Kind of like this is the lot and none of the other space is, and it kind of... Especially when you've got lots that are empty next to things, it kind of... I think anyway, it kind of gives it a kind of... I don't know why I keep saying kind of. But it gives it the look, to me, as if it's kind of... I said it again. To me, it gives it a look that says that it's somewhat separated from the rest of the empty white space, and it doesn't look like I've just left the blank space on purpose. It just looks like it could be just a you know, empty plot. And that's what I was going for, but it took me 10 minutes to say it. Don't you just love the way my brain works? I do always want to apologise at the end of my videos for all the tangents that I go on. And, well, not the tangents. I'm fine with the tangents. I think going on tangents is actually a great thing. And sometimes I don't do that enough. I just kind of talk about what I'm seeing, sort of thing. And it doesn't always work out for me nicely. Can these be sized up? They can't be. And they're not being lowered. You can't lower them. I can raise them from here. That's definitely something I could do. I like this idea of having these little cracked bits. Oh, I've taken that one too high. My bad. There we go. So like they're little floating rocks. I'll have to remember that they're in there. They're from Island Paradise, and they do filter when I say Island Paradise on here. Island Living. Island Paradise was Sims 3. As per usual, I am getting my things mixed up. Oh, lots of rocks. Oh, that's huge. Never mind. That's a volcanic rock. That's like a crater. I'm good. Could definitely size some of these down. Oh, that's coral. That's dead coral. Okay, I see. But we did get our little pond stone kind of things. That's a coral reef. A lively one. That's good to know. Is there anything else of note in here? That's as small as these rocks go, which honestly isn't very small at all. I could maybe move one and work it in here. You're not floating at all? No, perfect. That looks okay. Is that light shining on it? Or no, that's actually the panel on it. Which is where I'm like, do I want that? Oh, maybe, no, it is light. It's shadows from the trees. It's shadows from something. Because I would swear it was just moving. Yeah. Like if you look at it, it's a moving thing. Yeah. It's moving. But I don't know where it's coming from. What's causing it. Oh well. It's fine. It's just as long as I know it's light. No problems. Right, I'm going to go in and do a bit more of this kind of rock lifting here. I could really go for some slightly, like, different rocks in this game. That's absolutely something I could go for. Seeing as we only have 5 and we're... How many years into the release? 7 years since this game came out? Has it really been 7 years? So I've settled that rock into place a bit more with some of these smaller rocks. Just clearing the, not clearing, maybe that's not the right word. I'm trying to kind of almost cover up the trim we've got going on here. Because, I mean, it does look a little bit silly and a little bit artificial. Like, it's fine in some places and we'll probably use it. But not everywhere. And I want to just go around this with a bit of this. This is called Rock Storm, I think. Rock Storm? Yeah. And I just want to grab this around here, give it a bit more of a base for what the rest of these, like, decorations are going to add to it. I'll probably come in and mix in some other kind of stone patterns, like for example this one. We'll do it quite strong in some spots down here where we want like a slightly more dense rock part sort of thing. I definitely like the idea of maybe in this garden area that we've got going on, we kind of fence a little bit off of it. That could be quite interesting. Finding the right fence to do that with could be the challenge here, because I don't want it to... Let me get my grid on. Oh, I'm too high up, so maybe like over this spot here, because then it looks like, even without placing all the rocks, which is going to be really tiresome on our system, looks like we've got some kind of rock kind of area going on. It's not the right path for it. I feel like that path is definitely not right. What path would be right? I like the idea of like going straight into it so that it doesn't look too mad. I want to get a look at that with the... Now that could definitely work. I definitely only think that's going to work if I can get like whatever I use for my patio tile sort of thing. Which I think might be this one. I like the idea of using gravels for some of it. Maybe gravel's what I do. Is it Control F for corner? Yeah. So conflicting terrain constraints there. So this is going to be the problem here. So I think I'm going to have to get rid of some of this. Just push it back a little bit, hopefully. Yeah, if I were to like do that instead. It doesn't quite follow the way of the rocks and stuff just yet, but I feel like it's definitely a better way of going. I don't know why these aren't done like separate swatches. Same with these. Oh, it's because they're roofs. Oh, it's because debug and roofs and... Yeah, you have access to the roofs when you're in this mode, aren't you? Which would be kind of cool to just have this be part of the roof. I mean, it's not really a roof, but sure. Definitely would be cool to do gravel though. I'm definitely up for gravel. Have we got a nice gravel? Let's try this one. Now this one does let us do our corners, which is nice. And we'll just bring that along here. And down here. And then in this area here, we'll go maybe as far back as like this. Oh, terrain there, great. In which case I will get rid of this tile and maybe set it up as like a corner here, and then we'll go to here with this. So we've got like a little backyard sort of area. And then I'll take this out to the front. Can't tell if that one's a bit too light. Swapping it to a slightly darker one might make it look a bit better. Slightly more reddish one. Let me check that in the afternoon. No, it doesn't quite work in the afternoon. I think the darker one's probably the best way to go. Which is exactly the same as that. I don't know why they have like a version of it that's separate and a version of it that's together. But that beats me. Definitely like it. Definitely think that gravel was a good way to go with this. I'm not sure if I like this as a post box. I like the idea of using the post of the stairs as like the... Yeah. Have we got different colours of this? Not of the thing, annoyingly. Do any of my woods here reflect it? No, that's too dark. That one's pretty spot on. But again, we don't really have a fence that goes around it, so I'm just gonna leave it as is and use that like that. God, it's been a long time I've been recording, which is, while it's fun, it's also a little bit like, my throat's gonna die anytime soon, because I know me and I know how I've been feeling recently. I tried to record a speed build voiceover last week at some point, and I managed to get about halfway through without coughing, and then all of a sudden, every 2 or 3 minutes, if that, I was coughing tons. And I hated it. It was like, I wanted to get a video out, and I think that was the sign to me that I was like, I need to take a break. I need to stop recording for just like 2 seconds and just focus on what's going on. And so I recorded it all. I set it out to edit, and I was like, I'm gonna keep it. And then I played it back, and as I was trying to edit it, and I sounded so weak, and it's not something you want to put out to the world. You don't want to come across as weak ever, really, I suppose, in the world, but I feel like YouTube is one of those places that it's kind of like showbiz. You got to put your best face forward and all that sort of stuff. I know it's a bit more personable and people are a lot more understanding than the entertainment industry is, obviously. But it's like one of those things, though. You feel kind of obligated to, especially at this point in time as well. You've got like a whole world that's kind of expecting to be entertained during this time, and they're struggling to be entertained at this time because of all that's going on, and everybody's scared and panicked and all that. And I don't think it's fair to assume that you can just carry on. That's not the world we live in, unfortunately. But I don't know why I'm getting all philosophical and sad about it. As I say, you've just got to make do with what you got. For me, it was just I really realised that I just needed to take care of myself a bit for like a few days. And that's what I did. I played Animal Crossing. I set up a Minecraft server with my sister just to chill out on. And that's just pretty much where I left my, I just kind of hung up my YouTuber shell, hat for a little while. Not that I call myself really a YouTuber, I'm just someone who makes YouTube videos in my free time. I wouldn't ever really say that I'm a YouTuber. But there we are, I suppose. If you're a hobbyist YouTuber, you're still technically a YouTuber. Right. Definitely looks better with that dirt underneath there. I'm just gonna bring it out a little bit. Here. Can we match up any gravel? Is there a gravel pattern? There is. Can I? It's pretty similar to the roof tile, actually, which makes this even easier. A little bit lighter than the actual gravel over here, but not to worry about that. Not done with this outside whatsoever. I've got garden furniture to be putting in and stuff, but I think I'm going to place down a tree at the front and I'm going to leave it for this episode because it's been an hour of me recording, and while I'm better, I'm not totally better, and my throat is feeling super raspy at this point, and just think it's for the best, to be honest with you. So let's see. Is that? You know, I think that might be a really nice little tree to kind of finish the place off. It does make me want to grab that fence again, which is a bit of a pain because I have to sift through a bunch of debug items. But I can sift through a bunch of debug items for you guys. I'm totally capable of that. Oh, it wasn't that far down. That's even better. I do appreciate when they're not far down. You're going to make it difficult for me to place this, aren't you, tree? I hate the way the trees are at the moment. Right, there we go. And that's kind of in there. Maybe if I pull it. Come on. The problem is I want to see the tree, but I also don't want to see the tree. I will. There. I think that's the one. I think that's as close as we're going to get to a nice way to cap that off. And I actually really like the way that looks. I think that's given it its own nice little cute plot. Definitely not done with this landscaping. I might do a bit of the rock stuff, like the tedious bits, off camera. But we've got furniture to do for the outside because I do want to make a big deal of the outside. Because this girl is going to be a gardener and I have a bunch of cool stuff gardening wise that I'd love to show you, and that was really the intent of today. But we got so wrapped up in the rest of our like finishing touches that it didn't quite work out for us, did it? Don't mind me just lining my concrete, not my concrete, my gravel, with a bit of dirt where it meets the grass, because nothing meets grass really neatly unless it's AstroTurf, which is definitely not AstroTurf. There we go. I feel like this is coming together to be a super cute little moment. Let me grab a screenshot of this. Okay, pause the game. Much prefer it when the game is paused. That would be helpful. There we go. Looks a bit blurry in the background. I think it's focusing on those flowers at the front. Which is a bit of a pain. I really dislike the way that does that, and I know there is a mod and I just haven't downloaded it yet. But yeah, we're starting to come together on this. It's really not the best lighting for the time either. But I can make it work in post. I can make it look nice in post. Maybe if I grab that. That's an interesting view. Sure, let's pop that in my screenshots folder as well, and we'll see how that goes. But anyway, thank you all ever so much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Let me know what you thought in the comments down below. And yes, thank you all ever so much for sticking around, and I look forward to seeing you next time.